Today I'm going to compare the Gibson Les Paul Standard and the Les Paul Studio. I will focus mostly on the sound, weight, and the feel of the guitars. The Les Paul Standard was first introduced back in 1952. It wasn't a success at first, but after players like Keith Richards and Eric Clapton rediscovered those old Les Paul in the 60s, Gibson brought the single cut design back in 1968, and it's been in production ever since. Now about this color, TV yellow, originally appeared on Les Paul Jr. and special models in the mid-1950s. The version you see here, the standard 60 in TV yellow, is basically a modern cosmetic tribute that blends classic standard specification with that vintage TV era look. The Les Paul Studio came much later in the early 1980s as a more affordable, more cheaper model for studio musicians. In 1953, Les Paul and Mary Ford had their own television show, and there is a popular story claiming that this yellow finish was created because pure white would glare on black and white TV. And with this color, which is almost like a yellow, it basically looked white on camera. There is no specific record proving that, but it's mostly a legend, but for me it is an interesting point. Okay, so the body of the standard is mahogany, a solid mahogany body, no maple cap. However, the studio session has a chamber body. And what that means, chamber, is that basically it has several holes within the body so that it releases the weight of the guitar. And this one has also a mahogany body, however, this one has a maple cap. Some players argue that removing the maple cap makes the guitar like with a darker tone or moodier. I don't know if that is really true. The best way to prove that would be to install the same pickups on both guitars, but of course I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the fretboard is another big difference between the standard and the studio. This one has a rosewood fretboard. The studio session has ebony fretboard. The standard is 9 pounds. The studio is 8 pounds. Both has a nitro lacquer, which for me personally, I don't like the feeling of the nitro lacquer in the neck, but now I'm getting used to it, so it's not like a big deal for me. So this one, the standard, has Boss Buckers pickups. They are mostly what is called the Gibson PAF humbuckers. PAF stands for Patent Applied For. Gibson introduced this in 1957, I believe, and it was designed by engineer Seth Lover to eliminate the hum of the single coil pickups. Moving on to the studio, this one has 57 classic humbuckers, another PAF inspired designs, and this one includes the push-pull coil tab, so it lets you switch from humbucker to single coil. I personally don't use that too much. I basically enjoy the natural sound of the humbuckers. So. So which one is better? That really depends on what you're looking for. To me, Les Paul are very dynamic. They respond well to whatever style you play. I go for the standard when I want heavier tones, like more heavy music, and the studio for more clean atmospheric sounds. So I hope you like this video and thank you for watching.